Hey, good morning, guys. This is Yo the Hookin. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I decided to take a break from everything because I've been working on a lot of Sundays trying to get caught up on orders and stuff. Still behind. But anyway, so I decided I was using yesterday as just a day of creativity, because I needed that. I'm too artsy-fartsy to sit and do the same thing over and over and over again. Just drives me nuts. So I took off, before I went out with my metal detector, I spent the morning finishing up something that's a necessity for when you're out in the woods. And that is, ta-da, I made me a new pair of fingerless mitts. And there they go. And I decided after I got them done, I mean, I've made a lot of them that have the thumb completely free. And I decided, being out in the woods, I really needed to get my thumb covered up a little bit more, like bring it up to the knuckle or something. And this is where there's the fun of improving your skills. And so what I'll do is I'll take, since these were knit with a number 8, needles, then I'm going to just put number 8 DPNs around here. I'll pick up stitches and I'll add on a thumb. No big. And so I'm not really worried about how it looks, because these are basically for being out in the woods and using my metal detector. And I wish I'd made them a little bit shorter from that, but I can always pull them up a little bit. But I had them extra long because it's, you know, it was just the day I made these was freaking cold. So anyways, I'm going to pick up stitches and extend the thumb area on it. So my thumb will be a tad bit warmer. And plus I'm using them while I'm knitting. So not that the room's cold, it's just when you have arthritis, it's nice to heat the hands up. And I got the pattern out of, it's my old standby, out of Cool Stuff Teach Me to Knit. And I found this a long time ago at Walmart. And this isn't how I learned how to knit. I learned how to knit using, it's still, I'm hoping I don't bring down the shelf. This one. The all new Teach Yourself to Knit by Evie Rosen. So anyway, I'm hoping she didn't just go in the bathroom. You know Lily, every time I start recording, she decides it's time to do something evil. Anyway. Oh, good. She's right there. So I got the pattern out of there, and it's just a short little basic pattern. And let me see if I can find it here. Hello. Oh, there it is. Today you can see the mittens right there. And I change them up a bit each time that I make them, because I don't like doing the same pattern over and over again without tweaking. So that's where I got the pattern for these at. And it's so simple to make, it's just crazy. And it doesn't use much yarn. Doesn't use much at all, which is the nice part about making mittens. And what I used in it, as you can see, you know, that was the full roll. And I used Lion Brand woolies, and this is in, what is it? Chestnut Heather 179, and it is beautiful. I love it because it's so woodsy. I mean, it's just like the perfect color that you want when you're out in the woods, you know, to blend in. So anyways, there was that. And then, yes, I just stomped on the floor to get rid of the cat. And so anyways, before I went out, I was thinking about this and how I could apply this to today. Because I've been wanting to use Knit the Sky by Lea Redmond, and the ideas that she's got in there, and figure out how they would work with me personally. And I thought, well, I don't want to just make something to be making it. I want it to have some sort of, you know, meaning to it, and not just doing it because I've got a book that's really creative. And so anyways, yesterday morning it clicked. I'm going to make a 30-day expedition scarf. Because what's an expedition? An expedition is taking a journey for a purpose. There's a specific reason why you're doing it. And basically, you know, people go on expeditions to climb Everest or to find the Yeti. Well, I'm in search of, for those of you history buffs, I'm in search of the past of our farm. Now, we know that it was an old dairy farm, you know, because we bought it off an old dairy farmer. But there's a history before that history. You know, we know that the house was built like shortly after the Civil War. Well, it's either shortly before or shortly after the Civil War. And so we know that part of it. But what was there before then? And that's what I'm looking for. Now, me and a few other relic hunters, a couple other relic hunters, we have already figured out through the different artifacts that we've found that this also used to be an old Indian camp. So and that's a lot of fun to find those things, you know, the artifacts from the Indian camps and stuff. And then here lately I found on the ridgeline, a path going up the ridgeline, I found, you know, a handful of nails. And it was like, these are, you know, handmade nails. And I've dated them now back to the 1800s. So, and I've found some more that I'm not quite sure, but there's possibility maybe even late 1700s. So this is really exciting. So I decided with the expedition scarf that I would set my rules. First rule, big rule, I am not allowed to buy any more yarn. You know, I'm not going to walk around with, let's say, shade cards and try to match up the collars when I'm out in the field. No. You know, whatever's the closest collar is to something that I've picked out when I'm up there, you know, I come home, that's what I go with. You know, I'm like, you know, even if it's darker, I don't care. You know, I know what that collar is for, but no more buying more yarn. I've got a massive stash I've got to get through. So anyways, I wrote down the rest of the rules in my notebook. I choose 2 colors for my expedition. I put white beads for snow days. I'll put clear beads for rainy days. And on days when the weather's just so bad that there's no break in the weather to where I can't get out and detect, then I'll just take collars from the pictures that I've taken the day before, and I'll use those collars and put those in, and then I'll put the clear beads over top of that. And so that way I've got a collar, you know, still from my expeditions, but, you know, this is letting me know, oh, on this day it rained. Okay, I did not go out that day, most likely. And then the other thing that I'm doing with it, which is a bit different than what she said. Oh, well, wait, before I get to that, let me show you this one. So this was the beginning. And I don't care if I'm mixing yarns or yarn types, actually. This is Karen yarn, and then this is Red Heart Super Saver. But anyways, this is my bit from yesterday. 5 rows of each color for 30 days. Or unless the scarf is so long, I decide I don't want it going any longer, because 300 rows is pretty long. Yeah. So, and in garter stitch, I don't remember if I said that or not. And I'm using clover shorts here, 10.5 on the clovers. And the other thing I've done with it is I've created a little notebook. These are the mini composition notebooks that you can pick up in 3 packs at Walmart. And I put on it Knit the Sky Projects, and then the date that I started it. And here is the beginning of the 30-day adventure scarf, or expedition scarf. And then I put down why I chose each collar, and to remind me, because yeah, I'm pushing 60. I'm gonna forget at some point. So anyway, and the green on there was to represent all the different grass shades that I saw yesterday. And the ridge line is covered with ferns. I mean, there's just a plethora of ferns all over the place. So the green, the beautiful greens of the ferns are in there. And then the gray, was for overcast. But the gray is also because I found some mushrooms on the side of a log and that were gray, and so the gray could also go with the mushrooms. But I you know, Freudian, I automatically wrote down overcast because it was. But anyway, so I'm going with that. And then I wrote down what the temperature was. It was 46 yesterday, which was nice weather to hunt in. And that I cast on 19 stitches in garter stitch. And then the size needles I was using. One thing I just realized I left off the date. I've got to put the date down. But anyways, I like this little book being the size for these type of, you know, things, because, I mean, it just fits, you know, so nice and neat inside of my pouch. So it's not a big deal. But each time I can take little notes. So I've got a journal of a month's worth of adventures just sitting in my project bag. So that is what I have been up with, and now you know what I'm going to be doing for 30 days. So every day I'll share with you a little bit from my latest trip to the fields, and that will be it on it. And I've got some more orders last night, two more orders last night for 3 items. So I have got to get busy and get on them. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day and a fun day, and we'll see you later. Happy knitting.